Deep in Emerald Valley, the Silver Claw Hive pulses with life. Millions of ants work in the shadows of the great anthill. General Kael stands atop a high ridge, his notched mandible visible. He overlooks the central plaza of the massive underground empire. The Queen has issued a desperate decree for the larvae's survival. The golden nectar must be secured before the coming drought.
We are ready.
Kael signals his first legion, their silver armor gleaming. They are the strongest warriors the Silver Claw colony has ever trained. 1,000 soldiers fall into a perfect six-legged formation. Pheromone signals synchronize their movements as they march toward the surface gate. The legion leaves the safety of the earth behind. They approach the massive surface gate, the threshold to the dangerous world. As they emerge, the sun hits their eyes like an explosion. The world above is a Titan's playground with massive obstacles. Kael leads the column through the mossy plains carefully. They stay low to the ground to avoid any airborne predators.
Stay down. There's something in the sky.
Suddenly, the ground begins to tremble with a rhythmic thud. Dust spirals into the air as something massive approaches the column. A massive sparrow descends, its beak crashing into the soil. The rear guard narrowly escapes the strike of the feathered giant.
Into the crack! Hurry! It's coming! To the crack, quickly! Faster!
The legion vanishes into the crevices of the earth. They wait in breathless silence as the sparrow searches for its meal. The bird takes flight, creating a localized windstorm. The tiny workers are nearly tossed into the air by the powerful wings. Reforming their line, the ants continue toward the great fracture. This massive crack in the landscape is their next big obstacle. The abyss is too wide to jump and too deep. Kael knows they cannot lose precious hours by climbing down and up. Kael orders the construction of a living bridge immediately. Hundreds of workers lock their legs together to span the deep void. The bridge sways in the wind as soldiers cross. They scurry across the backs of their brothers anchored to the jagged edge. Once the last ant is across, the bridge uncoils. The workers pull each other up with incredible strength and coordination. They enter the whispering grass where blades rub together. An eerie, metallic scratching sound fills the air as they move forward. They find the first signs of the enemy here. A fire ant scout lies dead, its red armor cracked and mandibles torn. Kael examines the scene, sensing aggressive pheromones. A fresh trail leads directly toward their objective, the sun-drenched willow. They press on, reaching the base of the willow. The afternoon sun begins its slow descent as they arrive at the tree. The willow is not unguarded by any means. Thousands of fire ants have already established a perimeter around the massive roots. Kael knows a frontal assault would be suicide now. He divides his forces to execute a more tactical, multi-pronged approach.
Climbers to the upper branches. Affirmative, General.
The silver ants move with silent, lethal precision. They scale the vertical cliffs of bark using their hooked, specialized claws. High above, they reach the first cache of nectar. A glistening amber orb hangs from a low-hanging, vibrant leaf. As they begin the harvest, the fire ants detect them. The air fills with the sharp, acidic tang of war pheromones.
Attention! For the silver! For the Queen! We march! WE march!
The first legion forms a phalanx on the branch. Their silver shields interlock to create an impenetrable wall of chitin. The fire ants charge with chaotic and violent energy. They crash against the silver line like a relentless tidal wave. Mandibles lock against mandibles in a brutal display. The Silver Claw warriors use superior coordination to push the enemy back. One fire ant captain leaps over the front line. He aims for Kael's throat with lethal, red-tinted mandibles. Kael sidesteps and delivers a crushing counterblow. The intruder is sent spiraling into the dark abyss below the tree. The battle rages on the vertical theater of the trunk. Gravity is as much an enemy as the fire ants themselves. Some Silver Claw soldiers lose their grip and fall. They use silk lines to swing back into the fray like acrobats. Above them, the harvesters work frantically to gather nectar. They fill their social stomachs with the precious golden nectar. The sky begins to darken, turning a bruised purple. A new thread emerges from the foliage, drawn by the conflict's vibrations. A predatory praying mantis, a green ghost, appears. Its spiked forelegs strike with the speed of a lightning bolt. The mantis snaps up both silver and fire ants alike. The war pauses for a heartbeat as both sides face the monster.
Reinforcements, analyze the canopy. Look up. Yes, General. Looking.
The Silver Claws scramble upward toward the high leaves. They lead the mantis toward a cluster of fire ant reinforcements. The predator strikes again, causing chaos among the red ranks. This distraction allows Kael's team to regroup and escape. With the nectar secured, the mission shifts to survival. They must get the resource back before the enemy can regroup. The descent is a frantic race against time now. The Silver Claws slide down silk lines, dropping toward the forest floor. Behind them, a swarm of thousands of fire ants pursues. Their numbers thicken by the second as they swarm the trunk. The retreat leads them through the muddy marsh area. The wet terrain slows their movement as night falls on them.
Push forward.
Rain begins to fall, each drop a liquid bomb. The drops crater the earth and threaten to wash the warriors away. A massive raindrop explodes nearby, burying the unit. Kael shouts to his team to hold their positions in the flood.
Hold on! To the leaves! Move!
We can't!
Don't give up! Reach for the bank!
They use fallen leaves as makeshift rafts to survive.
General.
They
Watch the
navigate the
reeds.
rising floods of the forest floor carefully.
We're almost there.
The fire ants are not so lucky in the rain. Their heavy armor drags many into the depths of the puddles. As they reach the outskirts of their home territory, they stop. The fire ants have anticipated their route and wait there. A massive blockade of red soldiers stands in their way. The final confrontation for the nectar is now inevitable. Kael leads a wedge formation with the strongest soldiers. They drive into the heart of the enemy line with force. It is a grinding, desperate struggle in the mud. Armor is shattered and limbs are lost, but they refuse to break. Kael finds himself face to face with the fire ant commander. The massive brute has scarred eyes and looks very dangerous.
You are outnumbered. I am the general.
The fire ant lunges, but Kael uses his size to dive. He locks his mandibles onto the enemy's leg and flips him. The fire ant falls into the path of a falling twig. The distraction is enough for Kael to signal the final push.
Fall back! Protect the queen! Now! Move out!
The Silver Claws break through the enemy line. They sprint toward the safety of the tunnels with the nectar safe. The gate guards see them coming and deploy barricades. Heavy stone blocks are moved to seal the entrance once they enter. One by one, the harvesters vanish into the dark earth. They carry the nectar that will save the colony's future.
We're evacuating.
Kael is the last to enter the safety of the nest. He looks back at the retreating fire ant army in sky. The barricade slams shut with a dull, heavy thud. The world outside is sealed out, leaving them in quiet safety.
One more heave.
Deep within the hive, the atmosphere changes to relief. The nectar is distributed and the larvae are finally fed. Kael walks through the tunnels, his armor battle-scarred. He reaches the Queen's chamber to report the mission's successful completion.
Your Majesty. Rise, my loyal general. It is an honor, Your Grace.
But as he rests, a faint vibration echoes through walls. It is not the sound of ants, but something much larger. Something much hungrier is digging from above the nest. The war for the Emerald Valley has only just begun today. Kael sharpens his blades once more for the fight. The cycle of survival continues in the hidden kingdoms below.